it's been ages since I filmed a video in general, let alone a makeup video, so I have no idea how this is going to turn out, but I'm hoping that I can actually do it. I've also got my mirror down here, so if I'm looking down here it's because I have my mirror, because obviously I need to do my makeup. I've washed my face, I've toned my face, and I've put moisturizer on. I always do that before putting any makeup on, just because my face feels really fresh once I've actually put all that on, because otherwise it's just oily and I hate putting makeup on an oily face. So I'm going to be priming, and I'm going to be using the e.l.f. mineral infused face primer. I honestly love e.l.f.'s products. I've recently just been using their products a heap because I don't know, they just work really well for my face, and I feel like they're like cheap but good quality, because I used to buy like really expensive bottles of foundation for like 60 bucks, and I would just go through them so quickly because I used to wear makeup like all the time, so that was just kind of not sustainable. But recently I've switched over to e.l.f. foundation, which is like $13 a bottle. So, and I don't know, this foundation works really well for me. The coverage is pretty good. I know I've heard a lot of people say they don't like e.l.f. products, but I don't know, they work well for me. So okay, now I'm going to be moving on to foundation. I just have the e.l.f. what's this called, Flawless Finish foundation. As you can see, I barely have like any left, and this is the shade Buff. So this is kind of like my more pale skin tone when I'm not fake tan. I'm going to be using my Real Techniques beauty blender. So usually with foundation I just like squirt it onto the back of my hand, and then I use my finger to just dot it on my face, and then I just blend it in with the beauty blender. So just sort of like that. I don't really know what I'm doing half the time, honestly, but works out well. So obviously I'm sure we're all aware of what's going on in the world right now, and I know it can be really scary and like really uncertain, and I feel like everyone's just feeling a bit uneasy about everything because it's really affecting the entire world. It's kind of all that everyone's talking about at the moment too. Like I swear there's not a day when you don't hear about it, and like I understand that because it is so important, but at the same time it can be really overwhelming when that's all you hear. As we all know, most places are under quarantine right now, or not necessarily under quarantine as in you can't leave your house, but they're like encouraging you to stay away from other people. At least where I live right now, we're not forced to stay inside, but they really highly encourage it, and I totally stand by that because it's really important to protect your community, especially the vulnerable people in your community. Anyway, my point with that is that I want to try and make some more videos for you guys so that you have things to watch if you're staying at home and like self-isolating and all that. But at the same time, I do have a job and I work in a grocery store, so it's quite hard because I've been getting a lot of shifts, which I'm happy about because I'm really grateful to have a job at this time and be earning a bit more money than I usually would, because it's good to save at the moment. But then at the same time I'm like, I can't film videos as often, so it's kind of hard to balance that. So I will be trying my best, but I'm not exactly sure how often I'll be able to film just because of all that, but I am trying my best. I was going to try and upload twice a week, but I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to be able to do that just because that is a big commitment. I might just stick with my Sunday uploads, and then if there's like a few weeks where I have more ideas or more time, I might upload extra videos, but I might not make it a schedule where I'm like, okay, I'm uploading twice a week. It might just be if it happens, it happens kind of thing. I honestly have no idea. So this is the e.l.f. 16-hour camo concealer in the shade Light Sand. I use a lighter concealer just to brighten, honestly, I mean, it's not the best to brighten these areas, but under my eyes it's quite nice. Okay, so that's pretty much all blended in, and now I'm just gonna put some under my eyes, and then I'm going to set everything with powder. So I kind of just blend that out, and then I also blend it onto my eyelid if I'm doing eyeshadow, just to create a base for the eyeshadow, because this concealer is quite nice for eyeshadow. Now I'm just going to be setting my face with the Australis powder. This is in the shade medium tan. It's a pretty nice shade. So I usually do my eye area first, just because that's the area that creases the fastest. So I kind of just take some and just put it on my eyelids, and then once I've done that, I'll just take my powder brush and put this all over my face. So yeah, I'm just trying to make some more content if I can, even if it's just Instagram content, just to keep people a bit more entertained and help people feel a bit more sane in this crazy time. So I'm hoping I can do that. Trying my best. I guess we'll see what happens. Okay, now moving on to the next step. I usually go into my eyebrows next, and then I'll usually do like contour and all that after that. So I'm first going to be using my eyebrow pencil. This is just the e.l.f. brown pencil. I don't remember the shade name, but it's probably dark brown. I'm probably just going to do my brows off camera. I know everyone does that, and everyone's probably like, why does everyone do that? I don't know if it's annoying, but so yeah, I'm just going to go do these and I'll be back. Okay, so my brows are done, as you can probably tell. I hope they don't look too crazy. Usually looks kind of crazy without mascara on, so. Now I'm going to move on to contour. I'm just going to be using this Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. I still have this mini one that I've had for literally years, which is probably bad, but there's still quite a lot of product in there, so I'm not going to throw it away. I'm just using the Real Techniques contour brush, and I don't really do contour like super defined. I don't know, I feel like it's not super professional. I kind of just find where my cheekbone is and just kind of do that and just blend it out. Yeah, what have you guys been getting up to in quarantine? If you guys are in quarantine / staying at home, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know, because I think it's really important that we all share what we've been doing and just like share how we're going mental health wise. Like, even if it's just talking to friends or family, I think it's really important to talk about that. But yeah, I'd love to know what you guys have been getting up to. Personally, me, I've been working a lot, so I honestly have been getting out of the house heaps. I've been doing like 4 to 5 shifts per week, so I've basically been getting out of the house every day. And I've done a bit of baking. I've been working out heaps. I don't know, I've just been cleaning my room, organizing things. Okay, so I think my contour's done. It's just quite light, nothing too crazy. So now I'm gonna move on to blush. I swear I use the same products in like every makeup video, but that's just because I have the same products, and I don't think there's really a problem with that. Just having like a small makeup collection and using it all the time, so don't feel ashamed about that. But so I'm using this Tarte blush palette. I'm sure you guys have seen this one a lot. So I'm probably just gonna take this shade here. It's called Dream. And I usually don't put a lot of blush just because I feel like it doesn't suit me. And then if it's too much, I'll usually go over it with my powder brush just to kind of blend it out a bit. But that's literally all I do for blush. Like, just not a big blush person. And then I'm gonna move on to highlighter a bit later, just because I prefer doing that as the last step, because I feel like it really brings the makeup look together. So now I'm gonna move on to eyeshadow. I genuinely have no idea what kind of look I'm going for. We might just see how it goes. That's probably the best option. But I'm thinking something neutral but also a little bit dramatic. I don't know. So I've got my Conspiracy palette, which is quite out there, but I'm thinking I might use the pigment shade, the pink one. I honestly have no idea. I might just start out with the Tarte palette and then build up the color and see where we go from there. I just have a few random eyeshadow brushes. Some of them are Real Technique, some of them are Nude by Nature. Eyeshadow is just not my thing. Like, I just don't know. Whenever I start my eyeshadow, I always start with the crease, and I always use this really fluffy blending brush. It's just like the perfect shape and size and fluffiness. I think I'm just gonna take this shade here on this Tarte palette. I'm thinking of going for a kind of neutral pink look, so I'm just gonna slowly work this into the crease. I really like this shade. It's just a very neutral but kind of pink toned shade. I honestly love this palette so much because I love eyeshadow and those like cool, crazy, colorful looks, but that's just not like something I would wear every day. But this palette's very neutral and just very simple, and also the shades can be very light if you apply them lightly. Anyway, so I might just start with that. It's just kind of a starting point just to get something to work with. Then I think I'm going to move on to Conspiracy palette. I love this palette so much. It's honestly so good, and I mean, I don't use a lot of the colors at the same time because they are pretty crazy, but I am going to Harry Styles in Melbourne and I'm already thinking about my outfit, let's be honest. And I'm thinking for night 1 doing a sunflower inspired outfit, and then for night 2 doing a cherry inspired outfit. So I've got like the orange and the reds that I can use for like sunflower and cherry, so very happy about that. But that'll be a whole other video, guys. That'll be a whole other video, don't you worry. So I'm just gonna like tap into it, but then also tap the excess off so there's barely any on there. And then I'm just gonna slowly start working this also into the crease. I also have a video on this palette that I uploaded last year, I think it was last year. So if you want to check that out, just go check that out. Okay, I think that's the pink done. I'm actually obsessed with this shade. It's so pretty and it just blends so perfectly. So I think that's done. I think I'm just going to go in with the shade My Pills, which is kind of this white shimmery shade, but it's not too shimmery. So I think I'm just gonna put that on my lid. Okay, I'm not gonna go too crazy on that shade because I'm still trying to keep it quite natural. So I think I'm just gonna leave it like that. But I'm just gonna go back in with the blending brush and kind of just go over this to blend the line where the two shades meet a little bit, so it looks a little bit more put together. Now moving on to mascara. I'm just using the Too Faced mascara. Some people say this is quite clumpy. Honestly, for me, I feel like it doesn't clump too much, so I don't know. Honestly though, I really want to get my lash extensions done again. So once quarantine is over, I'm getting my eyelashes done and I will make it a vlog and it'll be really fun. I don't know, I feel like this mascara works quite well for me, and it might just be because my lashes are already quite thick that there's not much for them to clump because there's already lashes there. So it kind of just makes them thicker. I don't know, but I feel like this is one of the only mascaras that really achieves the look that I want of like those full lashes, because a lot of mascaras that I've tried out just make them longer and I'm like, I already have long lashes, I just want them thick and dark to really define my eyes, and I feel like this one does it perfectly. So okay, mascara's done, and I honestly like get so excited every time I put mascara on because I feel like everything comes together when you put mascara on. I'm using this Tarte glossy lip paint. This is in the shade Obvi. I use this all the time, but this is genuinely one of my favorite lip products ever. I love this shade and I love how it's glossy, but it's not too glossy where it's like really sticky, because some lip glosses are way too glossy, but this is a little bit of a mix between a liquid lipstick and a gloss, so it's like perfect. Okay, I feel like that's my lips done. So now I'm just gonna move on to highlighter and then we're done. So I'm gonna be using the Anastasia Sun Dipped Glow Kit. I'm gonna be using this little Zoeva brush. This is just the Zoeva Soft Definer brush. This is one of my favorite brushes for highlighter. I just feel like it's perfect because it's not super thick, so it doesn't make your highlighter super thick, but it also is not too small or too big. I don't know, it's just perfect. So I usually just dip it in, but also still tap off the excess, and then I kind of just apply it here. It probably won't show up because there's no sun, but I just like to make it not too dramatic, but also there, because I love a good highlight. And then I usually just put some on my brow bone too, just as a finishing touch. Now I'm just gonna finish with setting spray. This is the Australis Makeup Finishing Spritz. I literally have none of this left. I've had this for so long and I've used it all up, but it should still be enough for one more go. So here is the finished look. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I honestly feel so productive when I put on a full face of makeup, even if I'm just staying at home. It just makes you feel really put together. Is that just me, or does anyone else relate? But yeah, I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel. The button's down below. Don't forget to turn on the post notification bell next to the subscribe button, as well as notifications for YouTube, so that you get notified every time I upload a new video, and you can watch my videos as soon as I upload them. And with all that being said, I'll see you guys in my next video. God bless. Bye guys.